Hello YouTube! Welcome back to Sean Plays Guitars, and today we are talking about this 1995-96 made in Japan Foto Flame Fender Nashville Telecaster. Let's check it out. So this is my second video in the series All My Guitars, where I chronicle all my guitars. And this guitar is named Greta Lee, as you saw in the intro backing track video there. And Greta Lee, which loosely means grad telly. That's because my dad gifted this to me for graduation. I believe I mentioned it in my first episode. This is actually the second of two of these that we have owned. So the first one my father purchased at Guitar Center years ago and gave it to me for graduation in about 2003. And it was the cherry sunburst, so much deeper red. And this is the honey sunburst. And these are a photo flame finish. So they took a picture of some wild wood grain and laid it down and then did their spray finish over top. Other interesting points about this guitar is it has the cutaway here and it has the cutaway back here. So it's very light, and yeah, it's just really great. So we're going to get into some clean tones, and then I'll talk some specs afterwards. All right, let's talk turkey about this bad boy here. So this, as I mentioned, is the Photo Flame finish. It's just a top cap. You see here, the photo goes right to there, and then you can see the wood grain on the back. The neck is also photo flamed, and this one is one of the Hamburglar models. So if you look right here, you see a mouth and two eyes, and they say it looks like the Hamburglar. And a lot of these were produced this way because they just use the same picture in the Japanese factory for all of them. So maple neck, rosewood fretboard, split head vintage tuners. This actual guitar, if you buy it brand new, it comes with Strat, Telly. So it's got a Strat neck, a Strat middle, and a Telly bridge. Now I wanted, and we did this on my father executed this on the very first one too. I wanted the Telecaster neck pickup, because what's the point? So these three pickups are Seymour Duncan, and the neck pickup is a Seymour Duncan STR1 CHRT style neck. This is a 54 recreation. The middle is the Seymour Duncan SSL3WH reverse wound. So this is actually a hot Strat style pickup. So it's got extra winds. It's a really hot pickup, which actually plays pretty nicely with the Telly neck and bridge. And then the bridge is the Seymour Duncan STL1 single coil bridge pickup, and also the 54 wind. I also put in an orange drop capacitor and full size pots and a blade style switch. It came with what do they call it? The PCB switch, and dime size pots, and just a random capacitor. So I kind of went vintage spec on this. The best part about Japanese made Fenders is the construction. Far and away, the construction is always, in my experience, I mean, even between the two exact same model guitars, like this one feels exactly like the other one did, and it's really impeccable. Like how it plays, how it feels, the wood that they use, everything's really great. The neck carve is fantastic. The body carve's fantastic. Like this feels like a real guitar like a high-end instrument, and that's because it is. And the electronics, in my experience from the Japanese factories, are the thing where and they always sound fine, but they just, you flip it over and it kind of looks like a Squire on the inside. So I put in, more heavy duty spec stuff to get the tones that I want. I also reverse the switch. You can see here my switch is down low. I like to be close to the volume knob and the tone knob first. I don't switch too terribly often, but I actually find this setup to be quite a bit more useful. And I have a Strat style switch tip on there because the Tele ones always fall off, which you guys all already know. So let's get into some dirty tones, and I'll talk about what this guitar, sort of means to me, and we'll finish things up. So, what does Greta Lee mean to me? Well, this was my first real guitar. The guitar I owned before this was a Squire Bullet Duosonic, which had a resurgence. Fender did a Duosonic run not too long ago, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, which is cool. And I thought about finding a Squire one and then doing like a mod thing to it or whatever. But ultimately, this guitar was the first one that I had that actually played like you think a guitar ought to play. It was the ire of a lot of my other guitar playing buddies for a lot of years because it was so great. And when I got this thing and I opened it up on graduation day, at my grad party, I was like so happy and grateful. Like, it was such a cool looking guitar. The Cherry Burst is I prefer it, but they didn't have any online that were in this good of condition. So I settled for the Honey Burst, which is pretty close. And I love the way this guitar looks. I love the way it plays. And after my upgrades, I really love the way it sounds. It signifies the actual beginning of my guitar journey, like when I really started to take it seriously. So I had a Behringer amp that had like multiple effects on it. I took that to college with me, and I sat in the room with my John Mayer Room for Squares book. I had these books that I'd gotten, and I was trying to, like, pre-YouTube lessons, sit down and earnestly learn how to go about this wonderful instrument. So Eventually, as I spoke on before, it got traded to my dad, and then for the Les Paul back here, and then he played that for a lot of years, and then eventually it went off to a new home, of which the owner currently and seemingly forever will have a death grip on, which I don't blame him. It's a great guitar, and so we just had my dad was moving back east, and he brought this over along with a couple of guitar, or what is it, one guitar, two, another guitar for my now 6 year old. He dropped two tellies off at the house, and you know, as a going away parting gift, and I'm very grateful. This is a lovely guitar, and I really enjoy it. So that's Greta Lee. Come back for episode 3 of all my guitars, and I will pick another one at random. I might do an acoustic next time, but yeah, we'll see you next time on all my guitars. And until then, plug that thing in and play it.